Good morning, everyone. So good to see you all again. Today, we are going to be starting week number 3 of our calendar. Okay, so if we're looking at this week's calendar, remember, we always skip out on Storytime Sunday. We do that at the end of the week with Sight Word Saturday. We're going to be starting today with me on Math Monday. And it says, write your numbers 1 through 30. Okay, so after we finish this today, if you're using this calendar piece, make sure you color in your smiley face on the bottom, and by the end of the week, you'll have all your smiley faces colored in. And remember, we do one activity a day, okay? So I'm going to be showing you next how we're going to write our numbers 1 through 30. If we look at the paper, this is what our paper looks like. And it's a giant box with lots of little boxes inside of it. It's called a grid, okay? And so we're going to use this grid to help us write our numbers, number 1 through 30. Now, as we're writing this, we're going to realize that there are patterns, okay? So as we write our numbers, yeah, we could just go all the way down each box, but there's many different ways to write our numbers, and we're going to start to figure out that there are patterns. So if you see a pattern, make sure you say something, show somebody, and definitely show me. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to take our paper that we've got here. If you don't have this one printed off, that's okay. You can easily make this grid at home. Okay, here's how you do it, if in case you need some help. You make one giant box, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines across, and then I'll get my giant grid. Now, using this, I'm going to set it aside, and I've gone ahead and taken my whiteboard, and I've made the exact same grid, okay? And first thing that I'm going to tell us is that my class knows the very first number, more often than not, we forget, is not number 1. We don't start counting at 1. We actually should always start counting at 0. Even though 0 means nothing, 0 is the first number that we start counting with. And from there, we move up to 1, okay? And so it's when we start counting with our fingers, in my class, we always start by saying 0, and then we show a finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? 0 fingers would mean I have nothing up. So that's the same thing. Don't leave off 0. But if I add 0 in on this grid, then the 0 is going to actually mess up our numbers. So the very first thing I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to write these numbers in green. I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to write 0 right here. Why would I write it there? We're going to figure out as we move and fill in our numbers, we're going to start to see patterns. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's fill in our numbers. 1. Then in my next box, I'm going to fill in my numbers going this direction, okay? Many different ways that you can do it. You could fill in your numbers going down. You could fill in your numbers going across, okay? But I'm going to fill in my numbers going across for now and see what patterns come up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, no patterns really. After 5, we're going to jump down to this box here, and we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, and then our number 10. Okay, so I'm going to pause here for a second. If I cover up just this spot, we're going to see that we have a 5s frame. Okay, 5s frame is the frame here with 5 frames inside of it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I move my arm down, now we have a 10s frame, okay? And you think, oh, I just keep adding 5. Actually, we don't, okay? We're not going to jump here and say, oh, that's a 15s frame. After 5, we go to 10, and then from there, after a 10s frame, we move to a 100s frame. But that's for another time. So we right now have just filled in a 10s frame, okay? Any patterns coming up just yet? Nothing really, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch colors, and I'm going to jump over to blue. And we'll start to piece together things as we fill in. So after 10, I go 10, and one more is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 10 and 5 more. 10 and 6 more would be 16. 10 and 7 more is 17. 10 and 8 more is 18. 10 and 9 more is 19. And then 10 and 10 more is 20. Okay. Now, we're on our last set that we've got. I'm going to switch over to red for our last group. Okay. So after 20, I go 20 and one more is 21. 20 and 2 more is 22. 20 and 3 more. 20 and 4 more. 25 more. 26 more. 20 and 7 more. 20 and 8 more. 20 and 9 more. And our last number is 30. Okay, so I'm going to show this to us, and I'm going to give you a moment to look and try and figure out if there's any patterns you're seeing. Now, Mr. Simonson wrote a 0 at the top. Why did I do that? Well, we're going to do it right now, and I'm going to show you why. Because 0 is the first number. We always start with counting with 0, okay? So 0, if I just kind of look at this, I'm going to look column by column, okay? A column is what goes down. A row is what goes across, okay? So if I'm looking at the zeros column, I'm going to just say the numbers. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I noticed something right away, is that this 0 keeps coming back up right here. The 0 is repeating. 0, 0, 0, and 0. And then what number is coming in the middle of that? In between these two is a 5. And I'm noticing that the 5 is repeating. 5, 5, and 5. And so I've got 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now, I see other patterns as well. If I really think about it, all of these green numbers should have a 0 in front, okay? And that's something that we would learn a long, long time from kindergarten, but it's really, there's nothing in front of it, so we could put the 0. And then we stop at 10. So it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it's 0 and 1, 0 and 2, 0 and 3, 0 and 4, 0 and 5, 0 and 6, 0 and 7, 0 and 8, 0 and 9. And at 9, the 0 becomes a 1. And then we start over. 10 and 1, 10 and 2, 10 and 3, 10 and 4, 10 and 5, 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9, and after the 9, the 10 becomes a 20. So right there, we're seeing so many different patterns. All of these green numbers that are written all have a 0 in the front. All the blue numbers all have what number written in the front? That's right, they all have a 1 in the front. All these blue ones have a 1 in the front, except for 20. And then the pattern starts again. And after that, we've got, from the 20 up to 30, we've got 2s in the front. Okay? The 2s are in the front. And the numbers are always repeating. I still see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The numbers are all the same. They just keep repeating. The pattern never stops. So we started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And those numbers keep going. And we know counting by tens, that's easy. 10, 20, 30. But really, we always start by counting 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we can count as high as we want. Okay? So that's just a few patterns that I noticed right away. There are other patterns. If we look at the columns, I noticed that the numbers are always skipping. So 1 skips down to 1, skips down to 1. What's in the middle? 6, 6, and 6. 2, 2, 2, 7, 7, 7. 3, 3, 3, 8, 8, 8. 4, 4, 4, 9, 9, 9. 5, 5, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0. So many cool patterns. Great job working on this with me. We're going to transition now to doing a story time. Hi everyone. For story time today, we're going to be reading a story called Mission Addition by Lorene Letty. Mission Addition. Now this story is pretty long, so I'm not going to read all the different stories in it, but if we open it up, we can look at this part of our story. It says the contents. It's like different chapters, okay? So we'll read the first couple parts. Mission Addition is that starts at page 4, and Having Some Fun starts at page number 9. So let's start. Mission Addition. It was a stormy day, and Miss Prime's classroom was dark. I'm going to show you just the facts, the addition facts. Suppose you're a detective and you find 2 fingerprints. Then you find 3 more. Here's how you write the addition facts with numbers. 2 fingerprints plus 3 fingerprints equals 5. Does anyone know what this is called? The plus sign. Right. And what about this? The equals sign. We put it all together and say 2 plus 3 equals 5. This is another way to write the same addition fact. 2 plus 3, this line means equals, this line here. Why is it called a fact? Because it's always true. 2 plus 3 equals 5 every time. Can you think of something else that might be a clue when you're solving a case? Footprints. Okay, what if you see 3 footprints on the path and 2 footprints in the flower bed? 3 plus 2 equals 5 footprints. Here's our equation. 3 footprints plus 2 footprints equals 5. Right! Now I have a case for you to solve. Early this morning, somebody ate the cookies in my secret box of chocolate chip cookies. Look around the room for clues, and when you think you know who did it, report back to me. I checked the windows, and they were all locked. 3 windows plus 4 windows equals 7. I found chocolatey fingerprints. 5 fingerprints plus 1 equals 6. I found muddy footprints. 2 footprints plus 2 more is 4. I found blonde hairs. 3 hairs plus 5 hairs equals 8. And I found cookie crumbs on Miss Prime's desk. 7 crumbs plus 2 crumbs is 9 crumbs. It was you, Miss Prime. You ate the cookies. That's a fact. They solved the mystery. The numbers you add together are called addends. The answer is the sum. 2 addends plus 3 addends equals 5 sum. If you change the order of the addends, does it change the sum? Is 2 plus 3 the same as 3 plus 2? See page 32 for the answer, or could you solve it yourself? We'll read one more chapter from our story. Having some fun. And this sum is a play on word, meaning when I add 2 numbers together. One afternoon, Ginger and Faye looked inside some boxes in Faye's basement. I love this hat. Hey, here is an old bowling ball. Let's play some bowling. Don't we need pins to knock down? We can use stuff from the recycling bin. Here I go. My turn. Watch this. Plow. Oops. Boing. Who's winning? I forget how to add bigger numbers. Faye's numbers are 5 plus 10. Ginger's are 7 plus 6. Remember what Miss Prime said? Add the ones first and keep them in the ones column. So tens and ones. Oh yeah, then add the tens in the tens column. I'm winning so far. You know, it's hard to bowl with boots on. You should try high heels. I bet you can't add this up. 4 plus 12, 11 plus 7, 13 plus 6. I already did. Can you figure these out, friends? All right, that's it for today's story time. We'll read a few more for other days this week. See you next time. Bye. Have a great day.